is William Clapp, and I am the director, writer, editor, and overall creator of the Book of Hades.
My name is Bethany Mann, and I am the cinematographer and assistant director for the Book of Hades.
I mean, the first 2-3 shoots were pretty fine because I only had the one shoot where we did both of my scenes. So yeah, during that final shoot, I was pretty exhausted by the end of it. I definitely, leaned on Bethany to sort of mainly take over, especially during In the Woods when I was just absolutely beat from suffocating in a rubber neck stump. It was definitely daunting, but no regrets.
This time around, being behind the camera was very interesting because of some of the stunts that we did. I had to not only think about how the shot was going to look, but also having to trick the camera angles to make sure that the stunt was going to look good. And at a certain point, I also had to protect the camera from blood splatter going directly into all of its tiny, tiny little nooks and crannies that are impossible to clean, that are very important for the camera's functionality. And then we still didn't get the shot, so...
yeah.
It's rolling.
Okay.
Squirt.
No, wait, stop.
Uh-oh.
Am I getting you?
In the camera. The deaths and the gore, that was interesting to do for the first time. The fight in the cult room where we used breakaway glass, and glass went fucking everywhere, and I was wearing socks. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, what? The janitor from Hellfire Hades 2 wasn't a character?
No.
To play a character that's more than just a glorified cameo as the janitor last time, it's really cool to be the main antagonist, where the Book of Hades comes into play and where it goes from there, to have a place in that and how the ball got rolling. I love acting as much as I love directing and writing, and to now insert myself in a way that doesn't feel like I'm just, I'm the director, I gotta be in the movie because I said so. I mean, even though that's basically how I casted myself, but...
It was interesting for me. I've almost never really directed. Will and I did direct a project I'm not going to name drop because I don't like it, together, but that was co-directing. I had to basically be the director on set and also the cinematographer because the camera almost never left my hands. I had to focus on how the shot looked, but I also had to focus on how the actors were actually acting and whether or not they were hitting their marks and whether or not it was looking good both to the camera and whether or not people were doing their lines correctly and if people were coming in on their cues correctly and all that kind of stuff. So it was definitely an interesting challenge. Thankfully, I do not think the final product was impacted by my half-assing two things instead of whole-assing one thing. But it was certainly a fun challenge, and it definitely made me brush up on some of my directing skills.
Hellfire Hades 3, 1980s Killing Spree. All I will say for now is that still in progress since the last interviews. Freddie Stone is set to be one of the main characters still. Hellfire Hades will return.
Are you sure?
It will be feature length, and it's gonna have a lot of death. So do stay tuned.
I really did. I, of course, love my mother very much. She was a very good sport. She made Will promise. She almost made him put it in writing that he would not bring her back because she knew if he brought her back that he was going to kill her, and she did not want to die on camera. And then we also typecast her because she is actually a teacher in real life, which made it even funnier when I had to direct her to actually be mean in the scene. I'm like, no, pretend like he's one of the students that you hate. And she goes, well, I don't hate my students. And I'm like, I've seen the videos. Pretend.
I mean, I already have my dad playing the groundskeeper, so
True. True.
Bound to get your parents in the mix.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Plenty of moments to pick from. What immediately comes to mind, even though it was kind of difficult, figuring out the car scene was a lot of fun because I'm stepping out of a cornfield, walking out onto the road and aiming a gun at a car, and under the mask I have a headphone in while I think it was Jack had his phone on speaker in the back of the car with you also in the car, both back there. And I don't remember which lines it was, I don't remember which line it was that was my cue, but just listening for them while they're talking, what my cue is, and then stepping out. Definitely took quite a few takes, but then finally nailing it. It was super cool.
So I've actually filmed in a car many times, not just for Hellfire Hades 2 for the van montage, but also I filmed in a moving car for a student film I did that never came out because I never bothered to actually edit and finish it because I dropped out of college. I gotta say, out of all of the times I have filmed in a moving car, this one was the worst. Because the car had to move in a pretty dramatic, dynamic way, because obviously if somebody's going to shoot a gun directly at you while you're driving a car, you're probably going to whip the wheel a little bit. And so it was hard on many fronts. The first one being getting Isaac, who was driving, to actually drive fast. The second, getting Isaac to absolutely whip the wheel as hard as he could. Never got him to do that one or go fast. And then the third was, one of the shots was specifically ruined because I could not keep the camera still enough and I almost dropped it. It was just rough. It was rough all around. We had to go up and down the road so many times. We had, even though we had our hazards on for a lot of the time, there was a specific white truck that went down the road while we were filming and was really pissed that we were going 20 miles per hour in a 45 because we were filming. And then when they went up the road, they saw Will and Lucas and were like, what are you guys doing? And we were like, well, we're filming. And they were like, oh. And then we got there and we were like, so we saw the truck stop. Are you okay? And they were like, yeah, they just talked to us. And so then they found out we were filming, and I hope they felt like they were rude because they were.
Well, Chad Quarterback is always such a fun, popular character. He's always great to, work with. Norman, who plays him. And, yeah, just working with him as well as JT reprising Eddie and Bethany reprising her duties as cinematographer and assistant director, especially with these new roles they sort of had. Chad's just there to make sure that this stoner loser is actually good on his end of the deal of bringing this spooky book to Hades Woods for this summer graduation camping trip, just so he can, get closer with his girlfriend and hold hands. And for him to, still be even a little bit more of a dick, he's almost in his prime of being an asshole in Book of Hades. So bringing him back for that, plus, his whole thing with the brass knuckles and how that pays off, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun writing Chad again. I definitely felt like, I'm missing these characters. And then, of course, I suppose working with Bethany Mann is a pleasure, as always. Occasionally butting heads, but, it's all in good fun.
Occasionally. As much as I love a good fire death, obviously my beloved character, Mary Epstein, went by fire. So I do love a good fire death. It's always near and dear to my heart. And as much as I love what Hellfire Hades did to the Bloodbearer, it's so satisfying. There's something so horrifying and visceral about the way that the Bloodbearer executes Molly, because every single death in the entire franchise so far has been directly or indirectly through Stinkubus because of Hellfire Hades. But to just have a blatant murder like that was so jarring and so well done. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of the horror than I am the comedy. I think Hellfire Hades as a franchise does a really good job of balancing the both of those, but I have personally certainly enjoyed the step much further into horror, and Molly's death is definitely a big step in that direction.
Honestly, the easiest was probably the phone booth portion of the call. And I mean, even Molly's portion, but like, yeah, just filming him go up to the phone booth, and then the rest is just in the phone booth. And he knew all of his lines, and yeah, we pretty much knocked that out pretty quick. I'd say in general, my death scene was the hardest, just because being in that sweaty neck stump, because like I feel like I can put up with a lot for a while, but oh my gosh, I was just so drained, and I'm like, was that a good shot? No. Okay.
Some of the shots in the library, especially during the montage portion, you know, like through the books, and the way that Molly and Teddy would walk past each other. There's a lot of like really cute moments in that. I really like a lot of the shots in the cult hideout, the way that I tried to make the Bloodbearer look much taller and more intimidating, the way the camera's always looking up at him. I love the shot of Hellfire Hades dragging away his body by his foot. It's really funny.
That was fun to film.
Just get dragged.
Yeah, despite the neck stump, I was just like, all right, take me away.
Yep, there's a lot of really good shots, but I think I have to go with that one shot in the woods. Not even because the shot is so good, but truly because Will's acting is so good, where like I was literally sitting there and getting the take, and at the end I think I actually forgot to yell cut because I was just so into it, and Will had to like be done with the monologue and be like, okay, so was that good? And I was like, I'm doing a job. I have to pay attention to the job that I'm doing. Because I was just sitting there like, so good, this is amazing. Like,
wow. Don't stop now. I love Molly's death because of just being able to, it sounds weird, but inflict it and then watch it happen later. It was just really cool. I love Teddy's death. It's definitely, you know, a little comedic because of the, you know, not super expensive corpse prop we had. But I do feel like, in my opinion, it's probably the best fire death we've had. I'm sorry, but
no, it's understandable.
This is demonic. We're not seeing heaven after this.
No.
Yeah, so there's so many different reasons for each one, but if I had to choose a favorite, I might say mine, just to see myself die for a change after killing so many characters off for so long. So it's just sort of join the fun in a sense. It was great.
Working with Will as an actor was a very fun experience because I got to have all the power. No, I'm just kidding. It was more fun actually behind the scenes during rehearsals and developing the character of the Bloodbearer with him, because I actually got to be an integral part of that, which is something I don't normally get to do with the rest of the actors, because usually Will is there to direct them and I am there to, you know, just give smaller notes or the little things that I noticed, things like that. And so actually being able to pretty much be the only person who is going to give Will feedback on his character in that way was really fun for me. The rehearsals didn't scare me, the development didn't scare me. What finally scared me was seeing you ripping off the mask, covered in blood, screaming in the woods about how you are going to affect change whether people are ready for it or not. So good. Fantastic. It was really a fulfilling experience as a director.
Aw.
A prequel?
We don't really quite know where Eddie got the Book of Hades, what piqued his interest in it to use it as a method to kill his bullies. All we knew was that he had a cousin that somehow got the book for him and he died in the process. And so just in my mind, it's just always been bouncing around of like, well, what did that cousin get up to? And, you know, just as I thought about it more, it started to sort of like flow into its own story of what it could be. The fact that we've been introducing, you know, the Black Blood, the cult, they talk about it a decent amount in Hellfire Hades 2, and, you know, how they were around in the 1500s, and, you know, there's the idea of, like, who's to say they ever went away? And then sort of marrying that idea to this prequel idea with Teddy, and then sort of, you know, their whole run-in with the cult, introducing, you know, another character, Molly Major, you know, felt like couldn't have quite Teddy go on this adventure alone, that he needed someone with him, and I felt like Molly Major was a good complement to that.
I think Mary Abstein would have tried to convince them that since they're already very involved in religion, they should simply switch lanes to Jesus. I think she would have been like, why choose, you're right, why choose the lesser of two evils, but why choose evil at all? Why not choose Jesus? He will forgive all of the horrible, nasty things that you're doing. Just come to church with me sometime, perhaps, and let me out of the basement. Definitely would not have realized how much danger she was actually in, because even when she was in front of the real Hellfire Hades, not once did she think that it was just somebody in a costume pranking her. She immediately clocked him for being the real Hellfire Hades and still tried to get him to come to youth group. So we love her very much, but she really clearly only has a one-track mind. So that's exactly what she would try. She would just try to convert them. That's what she does with everyone, except for Cherry, apparently, who she fucking hates.
Originally, instead of the groundskeeper being the post-credit scene, some point between March 29th and June 3rd, doesn't really matter when, a biker was going to stop along Hades Woods to take a leak, and Hellfire Hades, not wanting to don his attire that he emerged from his realm in, would kill the biker taking a piss, and would steal his leather jacket, his pants, all that, and then you'd get that sort of costume change into the first one. We just never got around to it, or like, I don't even think I wrote it. It was just like an idea for a while, and then as production ensued, it just kind of went nowhere.
I feel very good about the work that I did. I had some doubts when we filmed Hellfire Hades 2 because it was my first time really doing cinematography work that way, and I felt like I hadn't put enough effort into thinking about what the shots were actually going to look like. This time around, I tried to actually do some homework. I learned more about cinematography and the language of it. I tried to think through some of the ways in which I could make these scenes work better for the audience and things like that. It was really, really fun working on these movies again. It was fun working with old cast and new cast. It was fun working with Will as cast for really the first time. Truly, I have to say a huge thank you and shout out to everyone who works on these movies. I said it earlier today and I'm going to say it again. The people that we have working on these movies truly would do it for free just because of how much they believe in our projects. And I can't thank them enough because we certainly can't pay them enough. Huge shout out to specifically Dunwich Horror Festival for giving us Best in Show. It's a huge honor. It was really shocking, and I feel so appreciated and so proud that we were considered even for that award, let alone actually winning it. I was in bed at the time when I got when I watched the video of the winners, and I screamed so loud that I woke up my poor husband, my poor long-suffering husband. And so I just want to say a huge thank you to Dunwich as well for giving us such a huge honor.
Thank you to everyone who has watched The Book of Hades and has enjoyed this fun little campy horror series up to this point. As Bethany has mentioned, already being acknowledged by a film festival is so cool, especially winning Best of the Fest. Yeah, the cast and crew, everyone involved for all their hard work.
Library.
Yeah, Ypsilanti District Public Library. Thank them for the Southfield Library. Thank my mom for letting me shoot in her basement for the Black Blood Hideout, and then in her woods for, Hades Woods, as per usual.
Hades Woods ain't so bad.
I gave you a chance.
Oh, yeah, plug my film that I'm filming. Hi, it's me, I'm the makeup artist. I'm filming a short film over the summer. It's a lesbian slasher film, so stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to get it done and edited for October for Halloween of 2026. Keep an eye out for that. He's gonna be in it.
You're gonna slash the lesbians?
The lesbians are gonna slash other people.
Oh! And look out for some other future projects that we have planned between now and Hellfire Hades 3.
Yes.
PP.
We just might work on a project that doesn't involve a demon lord, so do stay tuned for that. I know.
Have you heard about YouTube?
Exactly.
Oh, we could do this right now. Like,
No. Alright, see you next week.
What?
So, Mary, you've been interested in joining the Black Blood?
We haven't.
I heard that you've been interested in joining my church.
Your church? Does it serve Hellfire Hades?
No, my church serves the one true Savior, Jesus Christ.
No.
Have you heard of him?
I don't think I have.
He's heard of you.
Has he?